Hello everyone, this is the second devlog of the game I've been making. As you can see here, I've, for starters, changed the drill texture and made it animated, along with some other minor changes to textures and whatnot. I've added a new game button that, if pressed, will pop this up, and if you press OK, it will remove your save. Otherwise, if you press start, everything will go back to where you were. Also, as you can see, I've added tiles. You build them using 5 stone each, and you get the exact same materials back from destroying them. Along with that, I've destroyed the basic inventory and replaced it with one which is more broad. In short, instead of having like unrefined metal and refined metal, well, unrefined iron and whatnot, instead it has unrefined metal, refined metal, uranium, stone, parts which shall be used for assembling things, dirt, coal, crystalline minerals, aka crystals and whatnot, and biomatter, aka plant or animal tissue. In short, a living material. Also, to give you a little reference of some other stuff, what you see here, that was counted for my unrefined metal, and if I were to break this, you also get unrefined metal. Also, as you can see there, I'm still walking through some bugs in the day-night cycle. As soon as this pauses and you see it again, you'll see that I fixed that. Alright guys, I have returned and I have fixed it. This line right here was missing. You see, whenever it saves and loads, it loads the time and what it should look like, but it wasn't loading that it was actually that time of day or night. It just loaded the time itself. So I fixed that, and now it won't just repeat the animation. It'll play it correctly. Also, to give you some references of what the game is, this is what is preloaded. The rest is procedurally generated currently and saved and loaded. As you can see here, I have this, which is for the resources which I'll show. Anyway, if you want to see how some of this works, I'll show it right now. I'd recommend you slow the video if you want to see it all, since I won't slow down scrolling, since, let's be honest, not a lot of people would prefer to look at it. They'd like to see more of the progress than the physical code. Alright, I'm back, and currently there's not much to the game, but I have made drills and whatnot, gather materials, things, and no matter what you do, you're guaranteed to get the same things in the same spot due to using a noise function. Anyway, I'll show you that now. This here is the player script, and for the jump animation you've seen, because of all the fact that I had to split it up into 3 separate animations, which are right here, the jump is the beginning bit, which is I've got to set the animation to jump. The jump bit is that. Then is for when it starts to fall down, it'll go to this. And for the bob, to ensure that it only occurs when it reaches the ground, it is also separated. When it hits the ground, it'll bob. And all that went together to create the animation. From there, I also doubled this thing's pixel count. Well, 4 times. It's twice as large. Shrunk down to half its scale, so it's the same size. If you like, I'll show you the rolling. Wrong thing. There. I did the same basic thing. Oh yeah, almost forgot. I added an antenna. Had no reason to add an antenna, but the antenna needed to be there because I just felt like it needed it. And beyond that, I did my best to make things look more smoothly animated. And of course, for the day and night cycle, the reason it did what you saw before was, if it saw that it was day and the timer went out, it would set it to night and play this forwards. However, if it was night and it loaded, it would still count itself as day. So it would also play itself forwards, resulting in this. Whereas if it was night and it switched to day, it would do this. So now, since it also sets the day or night setting, it'll go from this, if it's already at night, to day without having to worry. Oh yeah, I also edited the clock to be a circle now. Because why not? Currently there's also a drill particles thing which I don't need, so I'm going to remove that. Just to let you know that that's not necessary. And we have a pause menu. They'll continue and save and quit. Currently there's not much else. Also, the mine animation is right here to let you see it clearly. I have it running at a slow speed right now, so I'll set it to loop itself and run it at 6 times speed. As you can see, it's I got it from I made the texture myself, but I got quite a bit of inspiration from how Minecraft does it, where they overlay a texture. And it was much easier than deciding to make textures for every single block. Okay, as you can see, at some point I am planning on making a ball rolling player. Not sure what it would be used for, but it will be used eventually. Among other things, for not so necessary objects, I have a single sound right now. There's the main scene, and of course the title scene, which is in itself just a scene, and I still need a game name. If anybody feels like they might have a good one, I'm open to recommendations. And everything here is preset to be exactly what it is. And I have 2 fonts. The main font, which is the one you're looking at, and the game terminal font, which is the one used over here and whatnot to look like it's in a computer terminal, as though it's pretty much flashing along the robot's screen. I also ran the jumping through a timer to ensure everything perfectly fits there too. Here I've been setting up as much as I can to ensure it goes at the right rate. So currently, while nothing is fully ready, I'm doing my best, trying to go as well as I can. And if you look in the bottom left, as you can probably see, I have to make a lot of textures for this game, as this is all there is right now, and there is not a lot. And just going to show you something real quickly. If I were to open that and show you this, there are a total of 47 used tiles, 7 by 7. These 2 that you see not with yellow or blue around them, they're still solid gray, all unused tiles. Every other one of them is absolutely necessary for the basic tiles that I've shown you. And I named this bedrock because it makes sense to have that as bedrock for the bottom of the world. From there, I use this, and it rotates based on time left out of 300 seconds. So the day and night cycle is 5 minutes per cycle, and / rotation around the clock. Also from here, this is where the player stores the resource conversion. It returns the cell type from here. If you look on the right, you'll see these numbers. Each of them corresponds to a single cell. It returns the cell that it's adding to your inventory, and it converts that to the material type. And from there, it adds that to your inventory. And the mine position is so that if you were to move your mouse while mining, it would reset your mine progress. But that's only if it moves out of the cell it is currently mining. From there, every animation here is, most of this is just the animation setting. Yeah, fun little thing. Since the console wouldn't be, the inventory area wouldn't be big enough to display more than 5 digits. If there's more than 5 digits, it just says a lot of, and then the material. Because the most anything will ever cost in this game is 4 digits at most. Because it's already a lot. And it takes 5 of a material just to get 1 of a tile, and a tile costs exactly 1 stone block to make. I'm planning on making the ability to granulate things, aka turn them into sand, and convert the dirt into a grainy or gravelly material like sediment. But for now, it's dirt. And from there, as you can see, if the object can collide and it's inside of an object, it'll move you up above the object as a way to keep you from getting stuck inside of objects. They'll into some wonky physics setting you use the ground like an elevator. Like, just to show you, I fixed it by removing your ability to do certain things. But just to show you, I'm going to stop letting it do it the normal way. Go to here and do that. As you can see, if you were to place a tile where you are, you could be sent out of the world infinitely high as you wanted to go. You could pretty much go up infinitely. You can to anyway, but you can see why this is a problem. So to fix that, the player cannot place an object in the cell they are currently in. Preventing them from rapidly moving themselves using tiles. And here is where it runs chunks. If you exit your chunk, it'll unrender the max render distance, aka as far as you can see, and re-render everything that you will be able to see. From there, it moves you by your velocity and sets a minor animation's position to a cell, and it subtracts your current position as to ensure that it stays in its cell, because otherwise, if I were to get rid of this 1 bit right here and mine something, if you were to watch me moving, as you can see, it disappears. But if I were to quickly fix that by doing this, as you can see, it moves with you and doesn't account for your position. So by subtracting your position, it'll always be on its cell. Anyway, that's all for today's devlog. Until next devlog, or whatever. See you then.